Hey viewers, welcome to Joe's Bench. I'm Joe, and thanks for coming. Today I want to talk about the Heritage Rough Rider and what I did like about it, what I didn't like about it, and what I did to resolve the things I didn't like about it. So what I did like about the Heritage was number one, the price. It is an excellently priced entry-level 22 planker. It's got a nice feel to it. It's got a nice single action. We got that Colt click deal. It is, like I say, a pretty decent gun for the price. Really. I paid $250 for this unit, but it's obviously their 16-inch model. I think the base on this one's $190, but I believe you can get into these for $120. And sometimes you can even get rebates. I got a $20 rebate on this. So, a very economical gun, and you know, one of the more affordable options. Another thing that's nice about this gun is it's got a lot of accessories. You can get right off the jump. You get the 22 Magnum cylinder, which is one of the key reasons I bought it. You also can get adjustable sights on it. That's the way I went. There's lots of grip options. There's lots of holster options, and then they sell all sorts of other things with them. So there's a lot of great options out there. You could really fancy this gun up. So you know, you can get into it for, you know, if you really wanted to be budget friendly, you get into it. If you like, get into one of these guns for $120, and then if you really like it, you can kind of soup it up and really customize it and kind of make it your own. So another great thing about it. Another thing that I really liked about this gun when I first got it was the bluing. I think they do an excellent job of bluing. Look great, both of them. And the barrel is also excellent. So here I'll show you it's safe. Let's do a half cock, flip, and roll through real quick. Okay. So yes, the barrel bluing is excellent. Is also excellent. The only issue I had with my bluing was from traveling. Let's see if I can even see it. You might be able to see that. Yeah, you can see it in the light. But that was a rub mark from the box. So bummer. There's a little cold bluing on the end. Pretty much hides it. If you did know it was there, you would probably miss it unless you're really looking close. So anyways, they do an excellent job of bluing. What else do I really like about this gun? I really like the trigger pull on it. It is a joy to shoot, really. That trigger pull is light, it's crisp. It's honestly the best trigger I have ever felt. Ever. Just love shooting this thing. So you get that sweet trigger pull, plus it's got, I've never had a Colt clone like this before, so it's just got a really good clicky thing going on. So you got the 4 clicks with this, because I think this is a 7/8 size replica of the Colt single action. The only thing that's different is this safety. So you got your first click, which I believe is the safety notch. Then you got your half cock, which allows you to rotate cylinder, load, unload. And then you got the next click, which is really the hammer, or not the hammer, but the spring engaging the last click on the hammer, because I think there's only 3 notches there. And then you got to go a little further though, because we're not quite there. And then the last is the cylinder lock. And now it's ready to go. So that's the 4 clicks. So it's just got a nice feel to it. It's kind of hard to explain. Really nice feel, really nice trigger pull on it. So liked all those things quite a bit. And now my dislikes, and mind you, I was aware of all these things getting the gun. I did my research. What I didn't like about it, my #1 biggest dislike was this was the plastic ejector handle. I have never seen on a gun anything that you're actually grabbing onto and using ever plastic before. So, and that's really kind of out front too on the gun, front and center. And I think it looks really cheap. That old divot too, whatever you want to call that. I've heard some stories about people breaking these, having to buy more. I've actually gone one step further. I'm actually selling these things. I'll show you right here. I have a bunch of these. They are on, there's going to be a link in the description to the eBay where you can get yourself one. 25 bucks for these. Much better than this one. Not going to break it for sure. Good fit. So if you're interested, I'll even show you here. So one of the nice things about this gun is this indexing deal. So you get yourself to half cock, and then every time you hear that click, you know you're gonna be right on line, right lined up every time. So, like that. But see that smooth action on that ejector. Very happy with those, but much better looking than the original. What is the next thing I just did not like on the gun was the finish on anything that was aluminum, or I guess it's not aluminum, or the zinc alloy. I guess it got some aluminum in there, or the Zamac, or whatever this thing is made out of. Where they dip it in some sort of paint. But it just is a terrible finish, and it's got like kind of a plasticky sort of look to it, and it just really ultimately just kind of brings the look of the gun down, I think. So I wasn't sure what I was going to do about that, if I was even going to do anything about it, but I ended up deciding to obviously just sand this thing down. How I did that was, first I'll strip the gun. I did leave the barrel in. I kind of worked around it. I didn't want to break this seal right here. So, but I stripped the whole gun down the rest of the way. Anything that wasn't magnetic, I took the paint off of if it had it on there. And what I used was these things on a Dremel. And these are great for the corners and tight spots. This one's been used, but get yourself some new ones. And these two things right here will strip the paint pretty easy for you. Once the paint's stripped, I went after it with this Mother's Mag and aluminum polish. Great stuff. Works wonders on this metal. And then these little discs right here. I got a couple different shapes. Some of them aren't discs either to get in the cracks and crevices, but I basically went over the gun 4 times with a Dremel with this thing and this stuff, and then once over it with just a rag on all the pieces. And I'll tell you what, I could see myself. I could have shaved in some of those surfaces right after I'd done that. So this metal that this thing is made out of is a highly polishable metal. A lot of people complain about it, but I really just don't see an issue. I mean, this is a low pressure gun anyways. Even if you're shooting 22 magnums, you know, all the forces are really happening here. So this frame is just kind of holds everything together, and just, you know, so it's plenty strong enough to do what it does. I actually don't even think I'd want to steal one. I think this is fine for the application. I do not think it needs to be any stronger. And what's nice about this stuff is it's highly polishable and it'll never rust. And for 22, that's fine. If this was a 44 Magnum, then no. But for a 22, yeah, it's there's nothing wrong with it. Even when your thing's rotating here, it's rotating on steel. So yeah, it's just holding things together. That's all. So that's how I addressed that. What else here? It also was had burrs all over the place, so those really need to be gone through. I mean, even when they machined out this groove for the sight, they didn't even clean the burr off of from that machining process. They just left it there. It was all folded over and coated just like that. It actually made it look like, as I said, that paint kind of makes it look plasticky. It actually almost made it look like this thing was melted into place. But yeah, so But once again, that's a cost-cutting measure and a way to get this gun to you cheaper. Let me see, what else? They also did a terrible job on the safety dot. I know people don't like these safeties. I do actually like these safeties quite a bit. That is steel as well. So I don't know what that is. That's not. I don't think that's blue. It's something else. Same with this loading gate and trigger. They're steel, but they're not really blued. But they still got a nice coating on. But anyways, people don't like this thing. I actually kind of dig it now. At first I didn't like it, but now that I've done this gun and finished it, I do like it. I think it actually gives me another black doodad on it to, be a contrast to the chrome. But beyond the looks aspect of it, I've been using it and I like it. I think it's functional. I think it's practical. I think it works well. I think it's a physical block. I feel a lot safer with it. Loading up 6, I don't have to think about loading up 5 or things resting on anything or taking any risks. So they don't want you running around with 6 in here, because this could obviously get caught and flipped down. Is pretty much why. But if you're on the range or doing something else, I have no problem loading up 6, and then in that safety, feeling pretty confident that safety's not going to allow lead to fly out of this thing. So, but what they did a terrible job on was painting the divot for the safety, that little red divot. So it was like some salmon color. It was actually running down the hole. It was a really bad job, and it looked really, really bad. They say it wasn't even red. It was some other color. So what we did there, and it just wiped out like grease, the stuff did. So what I ended up doing was got all that cleaned out, got a little sandpaper in there, roughed up that little divot inside, and then put the gun up so that was nice and flat, and I filled that divot up with this Tester's enamel solid red. This is the perfect color. I looked at a couple other colors. This is the one. Actually bought a couple other colors, but trust me, this is the one. So you just end up just filling that divot right to the top. I use one of these little precision oiler things. I had some new ones. They got this little needle on top. You may not have that, but if you can find anything that can do something like this, get yourself a little paint in there, and then just go in there. It just takes very little, and just fill that divot to the top once. Don't do it again. Just, you got one shot at it, and then you just, once it's full of paint, it will dry after about 12 hours or less, and then all the solvent comes out, and then you'll end up with a nice concave little red dot. And that to me looks professional. That's how it should have looked from the factory. Shocking they did such a terrible job of it. So, anywho, what else was the last thing I didn't like about this gun? The last thing I did not like about it, and I don't have them with me right now, is the Chocobo. Actually, I think I can grab them. I did not love these Chocobo grips. I do not know why I don't like them, but for some reason I just don't. I just can't dig them. My wife actually liked them, but I don't know. I don't know. Something about them to me looks cheap or something. They almost just don't look real. So did dig the grips, but that's, a personal opinion. I do dig these grips though. These are nice. But anywho, I don't think I'm going to keep you any longer than that. If you enjoyed the content, please obviously like and subscribe and comment and opinions, whatever. Other than that, have a great day, and I'll talk to you later.